Good afternoon. In today's book breakdown, we're going to be looking at Dr. John Gottman's The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work. Great book. It's for anyone who's married, in a relationship, or considering getting into a relationship. I feel like this is a must read, as well as all of John Gottman's materials on books, YouTube videos, and seminars. So what do we learn in this book? Well, we learn that with his research and expertise over 40 years, he can predict if a couple will stay together or divorce. 91% of the time, he can predict that outcome within 5 minutes of observing them talk about a hard issue. That's some powerful stuff. So if he can be that accurate, what are the things that he looks for? How can he do that? That's what that book points out. And also gives us tips of what to do, what not to do. So he has some things that he says that really ruin relationships and make them go worse before they are done. He calls them the Four Horsemen. But the first one is criticism. So you've always heard the saying, it's not what you say, but how you say it. That's pretty much true. You gotta be careful when you're criticizing your partner, in your mind or especially to them. Instead, find other ways to communicate and talk about things. Secondly is contempt. You know, someone who is always holding their partner in contempt and thinking bad about them. That's one of the worst things they can do, and that will just lead to worse and worse actions until it all falls apart. The third one is defensiveness. So if your spouse is saying, you know, hey John, I'm curious, why didn't you take out the garbage? And you're just so defensive about it, that causes more and more fights as opposed to just acknowledging it and moving forward. And the fourth one is stonewalling. So when there's communication or maybe arguments going on, one of the partners is just so fed up, they just ignore or stonewall the person all the way, which of course creates an atomic bomb after a while. The book talks about emotionally intelligent marriages. So one of the things was, happy married couples aren't smarter, richer, or more psychologically astute than others, but in their day-to-day lives, they have hit upon a dynamic that keeps their negative thoughts and feelings about each other, which all couples have, from overwhelming their positive ones. They have what I like to call emotionally intelligent marriages. So you have to nurture and really, you know, keep the fondness and admiration of your partner and your spouse together. There's a lot of great, in the middle of this book, there's a lot of great practical drills or things that each person can do. And you'll see things like this where there's true, false, or whatever, that you could just do on your own, or you can sit down with your partner and have he or she do it and you do the opposite to really get you thinking, where can I do better? How's our relationship going? Relationships are work. Think about it. If you have a sibling or a best friend, you may now or in the past or future be in major argument or not want to talk with them, or you're disgusted with them, but you love them. And you would never think about ending that relationship, or you probably couldn't if you wanted to. So what are you going to do? You're going to work on it. And you're going to get better and smarter about it. And this is what we have to do in our relationships as well. Easy to think, hey, we're great for each other. We said till death do us part. But we don't want to be miserable until death do us part. Solve your solvable problems. You got to communicate. Sometimes you have to compromise. Oftentimes you have to compromise. Here's some steps here. Soften your startup when having a conversation. So instead of just going in, you idiot, you jerk, blah, 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 you never listened to me, why didn't you take out the garbage? Whoa, that's not soft. Soften it up. Hey honey, seems like you've had a long day. Is that why you didn't take out the garbage, or why didn't you take out the garbage? Or do you mind taking out the garbage now? Learn to make and receive repair attempts. So if someone's getting off to the wrong footing or the conversation is going negative, how can you or the other person lighten up that mood? Repair, kind of like I'm sorry. Sometimes you'll smile, you make them laugh, you'll just stop yourself and say, whoa, that was out of line, here's what I meant. But don't just let the whole relationship go off the edge of the cliff. Soothe yourself and the other person, be prepared to compromise, be tolerant of each other's faults. No one's perfect. And some things that we don't like about our spouse are gonna happen forever. That's kind of who they are, and we have to learn to deal with it. That's why it's important to know your partner really well before proposing and getting married. But once you're in it, you really got to fight like crazy to be a best version of you. You're not going to change the other person. But if you're doing great things, that's contagious, right? So this book is awesome. I'd say go get it, and you know, really put some of the lessons to good use. And what you'll find out is a lot of it is common sense. It's simple to do, just what you can easily adjust yourself. But what I think most people should take from what I am is like, okay, these things we're doing well and I'm doing well, I'm gonna keep doing that. And I understand the importance of it now on a better scale. But some of the things I'm not doing well, I'm going to really be focused on it and do better. If you know by reading this or any of these books that your partner's not doing so hot with them, don't go up to them and say, hey, look at page 5, this is you. Is they have to read it for themselves and make that determination, or watch the videos online. You can't change other people, and in fact, you'll probably be hated for trying to do that. But you can change yourself, or you can even bring up something maybe you're both weak at, be working on it and say, hey honey, this is what I learned, this is how I'm gonna work on it. Let me know if you notice or if there's any other ideas you have. And they might stop whether they tell you or not and think, I didn't know that, or I'm doing that too. You know what? He's working on it, let me work on it. That's my tips, guys. That's the book. Go get it. The description is in the link below. Check out John Gottman on YouTube. A lot of great material. Build your relationships stronger with a solid foundation. Always keep fond things coming. You can never praise your partner too much. And may love be strong in your life. Until then, next time, join me in the pursuit of greatness.